Special Agent Will Trent, Georgia Bureau Investigation.
ABC's hit series Will Trent is back.
He read that crime scene like it was a book.
Tonight, 8, 7 Central on ABC.
I bet I can solve this tonight.
Critics are calling it an entertaining, powerful, heart-racing drama.
There's a bomb in this building.
Clear this entire block.
Will Trent has joined the list of greatest TV detectives.
He's good police, and he's objectively hot.
Will Trent, tonight 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
This is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Oh, it's time to get bloody.
It is time. But before we get bloody, we must get better.
Ah, good thing you said that, April, because this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. So, if you're thinking of starting therapy, this is the perfect time to start the therapy. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You fill out a brief online questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist, and then you can change your therapist at any time for no additional charge if they don't work out.
Yeah, and today might be a good day because if your cell phone crashed for hours, I'm sure that brought on a lot of anxiety for a lot of people.
It did.
So go to the website and put in bloody and you get 10% off.
And you go to betterhelp.com. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/bloody.
Do it.
Now.
Do it.
Speaking of cell phones, April, were you on SOS today?
I was not.
Wow.
I guess AI doesn't want to take over my life yet.
Well, they want to take over mine because I'm pretty sure I'm on a watch list. And yeah, I don't know. Did you update your phone? Because there was an update.
Oh, yeah, it would have updated automatically, I think.
Well, mine always tells me it's going to update automatically, but then I wake up and it's like, it was not updated. And I'm like, well, you told me you're going to update, and then you didn't update, but then I updated it, and I don't remember if I was SOS before, updated, or after.
Yeah.
But I was SOS, meaning I couldn't, I had Wi-Fi at home, so everything was fine. But it's on when I got in the car and drove to work.
You're like, what do I do with myself? Do I sit and quiet?
It was literally like weather was nothing. Like you couldn't even look at weather.
Like the Netflix movie.
Literally, the phone was like I could have just thrown it in the trash. So you know what I had to do? I had to listen to the radio.
Oh, what stations
The
did you
radio.
tune
I didn't even know
into?
my car still had a radio. I mean, I
didn't
went
have no CD player to
through
put in?
literally every station. I was at church. I was in gospel channel. I was at gospel station. Then I went to Tejano, and I'm like, oh, Selena. I'm listening to Tejano, and then I'm Country Star. I'm listening to all kinds
Doing it all.
Yes. And I did a little hip hop. I tried to do some talk rate. Nope, couldn't do the talk rate. I mean, I went through every state. I didn't know there were so many stations that were in Waco.
Did you push seek? Remember back in the day, you
yeah,
pushed the seek?
yeah.
Is it the seek button?
Yes, it was the seek button, but I didn't even know where the freaking seek button was. I just kept like turning the little dial. I don't know. It was kind of nice because I was like listening to songs I hadn't heard in a long time.
Yeah.
But I had to go back home because I couldn't survive at work without my device.
Goodness. I think there was a couple of AT&T workers got beat up, and it's not even their problem.
It's really not.
It was a network problem. Like, it's not.
It affected some other
JoJo that works at the store. It's not. He can't fix it.
I don't know why people trying to go up and no. Sorry.
The line was so long.
Could you imagine if because you can download stuff to the phone and then you can have access to it, but like I didn't even know what was going on by the time I was
It's like when you're on an airplane.
Yes.
But you couldn't prep before and download things.
You weren't prepared.
Yeah.
So I was just like, gladly I wasn't driving far.
Yeah.
I would have had to cancel. I would have had sorry, I can't drive there. I have no. Because you can't text either. You couldn't get text. You couldn't get nothing. Literally nothing.
Nothing.
I know. Can you even believe that?
You should have got some better help.
Well, I think I might now. I'm going to have to. Okay, let's get into some news for today. So I'll start with what's most recent, which is currently, actually these are all recent. So I'll just, the Rust trial started today. That's the
ST or SK?
RUS. I thought it was Rust with a T.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, the movie, the Alec Baldwin shooting and all that stuff that happened like forever ago. But it's not him. It's not his trial. It's the other girl trial, Hannah Gutierrez Reed. So I just letting people know what that is about. It's so Alec Baldwin was making a movie and he shot cinematographer Helena Hutchins. He pointed the gun. He denies he actually pulled the trigger. He was shooting a scene and he died. And he did not expect the gun to be loaded.
He did not die.
He did not die. He did expect the gun not to be loaded.
Yes.
So that's understandable, but still there's a question whether he was criminally negligent in handling it to the point at handling it and pointing it at her. Like, you're not supposed to do that even in a movie scene.
You're not supposed to point at it. You're not supposed to pull the trigger, and you're the producer. What are you picking up the gun and shooting for? I didn't know that until you told us about it.
Yeah, he denies that he pulled the trigger.
Oh, that it went off accidentally?
Yes.
Oh.
But he's changed his story. In one interview, he talks about how he pulled the trigger, and then the next thing he's like, I didn't pull the trigger. But his finger was on the trigger.
Yeah.
It didn't just go automatically. So, he was charged and not charged and recharged and all this stuff. But so what we're doing right now is the girl who's the armorer, who was in charge of the bullets and the gun. And her dad is like a well-known armorer guy. But apparently she was having to go back and forth between being the armorer and another job. She had to roll cigarettes.
Oh, or blunts for Snoop Dogg?
No,
that is a job.
They just said roll cigarettes, and apparently only be the armorer for like 8 days. She had been emailing people complaining about she's not getting enough time being this armorer. And then there's some guy who supplies, like the guy that supplies the bullets or the ammo supplier. He's supposed to check. So it's all these other things that are coming into play, and we're trying to figure out like what is her defense going to be, and basically it's going to be that she was possibly set up, or whoever set up her, they put the bullets in there, did it either on purpose or they did it not knowing that they did it, but I think she's going to just say that it was done on purpose and I have nothing, like it wasn't my fault, but she was the one in charge of it. So that's why she's like on trial for,
Wow.
I think it's involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah. That'd be the only.
So that, let's see, there would be a duty to check and make sure there are no live rounds. So no matter who might have slipped in the live rounds, which you don't know if somebody did on purpose, maybe an accident, but somebody slipped in those live rounds. And then, of course, it comes down to how negligent she was.
And then could you take it back to the manufacturer? Could this be a manufactured
I don't think
mishap?
so, because why were there even live rounds on the set?
But did they think they bought dead, or what's the opposite of live rounds? Fake rounds?
I guess.
Did they think that
Blanks
they
or
got
something?
blanks, but one of them just happened to be not a blank?
I know, because apparently you can tell by looking at the top of them. There's like there's these little circles in the bullets, and so the darker circled ones are the bullets, and the other ones are not the bullets. So you can really easily tell that. So, but I don't know. I gotta list this day one of the trial, so I'll report back. But this is kind of an advantage for Alec Baldwin, because this isn't his trial. So he's able to like watch. Kind of like Chad Daybell's able to watch Lori Daybell's, and Crumley was able to watch Crumley #1 and whatever. We'll see. It could be a totally different, I don't know. But apparently there's a lot of people interested in this because
Alec, I loved Alec.
Oh.
He's hilarious.
I know, but I can't stand his wife and he's so annoying now.
I don't know the wife. I just
Helena Hutchins. Hilaria.
I loved when he was Karen Walker's boyfriend on Will and Grace. Do you remember when he?
Yeah, I like him to be an actor, but I don't like him as a person.
Oh,
because I know.
I don't know how to differentiate.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it.
It's
because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything. Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at @bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those two also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Well, which of the worst... Okay. Want to end on a bad? Oh, gosh, they're all bad. Okay, let's just go. Let's go. Let me give you an update for Gabby Petito, or for the Petito Laundry. So, we're not going to see a Petito versus Laundry trial in May because they have settled in mediation. And in a press release to JB, hey, JB, WFLA, it's the Florida guy.
Yeah.
The press release that they released says, after a long day of mediation, a confidential resolution, meaning, well, it says a confidential resolution, meaning we're not going to know what happened. We're not going to know what was resolved, what was settled, or what happened. And this has been reached between the parents of Gabby Petito and the parents of Brian Laundrie and attorney Stephen Bertolino. to which all parties reluctantly agreed in order to avoid further legal expenses and prolonged personal conflict. Petito's family said in a statement, "Our hope is to close this chapter of our lives to allow us to move on and continue to honor the legacy of our beautiful daughter, Gabby." So I hope the Petitos found the answers they were wanting to find and whatever they were looking for, and hopefully some closure.
I know, like, what could it be?
I'm shocked they settled. I know it could not have been a money thing because they were not, like, the dad from, like, even listening to Peter Tragos, the lawyer, he was saying how, like, he's like, most of the time they can settle. Like, cases like the civil cases like this will settle. They will settle. But Petito's dad was like, there's no amount of money. There's no amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to come.
There had to have still been money in there, but it had to have been like some type of truth session. Not confession, but almost confession. Like, this is what really happened. But then if it's confidential, does that mean the Petitos can never come out and say? Like, no, either party can never come out and say?
That's what it sounds like.
I mean, the only way you would have peace.
They had to, I don't know, because, like, unless the Petitos were like, you are not going to get anywhere in a civil trial, and so you just need to take what you can get, which is what they're offering, and they're offering to tell you maybe what happened. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have no, like, but the whole thing, like, you want the world to know, like, I want the world to know what you did or didn't do.
I think the world really already
knows,
but
we
not.
Think that we think that Brian told, because there was also text messages and stuff that was revealed, and it's like they know that Brian called the dad, said Gabby's gone, and I need a lawyer, but dad could have been like, okay, I'm not going to ask what happened because if you need a lawyer and you said Gabby's gone, so I'm not asking, but let's get you a lawyer.
Yeah.
But then he came back and they spent this camping trip together. And then, like, when did he leave? Why did he kill? Like, what happened? What all happened during those weeks? So, yeah, that's real bad. Also, today we had a verdict for Harmony Montgomery trial, which Adam and Kayla, I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. So after 6 hours of deliberation over 2 days, Adam Montgomery has been found guilty for murdering his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony Montgomery. Today is when they did it, February 22nd. He's convicted of second-degree murder, second-degree assault, falsifying evidence, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. So throughout this 2-week trial, they presented evidence that Montgomery beat Harmony, took opioids, and then ordered food at Burger King while she succumbed to her injuries in the backseat of his car. And upon realizing her death, he concealed her body. You might remember this now. For months, he then stuffed her into a duffel bag, then into a cooler. He later rented a U-Haul truck, discarded the victim's body somewhere outside of Boston. We still don't know where the body is. Nothing. So for nearly 2 years, he said nothing, and he denied harming her, claiming that he returned Harmony to her biological mother. This happened December 7th, 2019. Kayla Montgomery, which was his wife at the time, was also in the car. Like, all this happened in the car. Adam's driving, Kayla's passenger seat, Harmony's in the back seat, and Kayla's 2 other kids are also in the back seat whenever Adam turns around and just starts hitting her in the face because she peed and pooped her pants, and then they never went to go clean her and all this stuff. And Bio Mom had lost custody of her in 2018, but then Adam blocked her. There was drugs in every step of this little girl's life. And so one thing that was also very interesting is that he never one day showed up to trial.
Where does you don't have to come?
Apparently not in New
Hampshire.
Hampshire.
Stayed in jail?
Yep. I remember this day too. He was there for jury selection. And that's it.
What?
He never showed back up. And one of the days we were told that he refused to do a cavity search, and so he stayed in his cell. But they said that during sentencing, he will be forced to come to be there for sentencing.
He did not even want to face what he did.
Because they tried to blame everything on Kayla, the ex-wife, or the former wife.
So is she going to have her own trial?
She
made a deal. That's right.
Yeah. But she's not innocent. She's just, yeah. I mean, she got
probably
lucky.
her idea.
And to the latest.
Another little girl?
Audrey.
Yes.
And I got some new updates today that I was not aware of that I guess kind of developed overnight. So here is, I'll start with the finality of it. Don McDougal. I need a name for him.
I didn't follow it because I was watching Nisa Tisa, so I was waiting on you.
So this guy, McDougal. Yeah, McDougal. Used a rope consistent with the rope that was seen in his vehicle 2 days earlier during a police traffic stop to tie a large rock. He didn't tie the rock to the body. He tied a rope to a rock that was on the bottom floor of this river, Trinity River. She was then tied to that rope. So she was floating, she wasn't floating on the surface. She was just mid water.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you more about that in a second. That the rock was basically weighing her down so she was not going to the surface.
Did she die before that?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
So.
Oh, what a horrible way.
Investigators said they were able to locate her body in the river using cell phone records and video analysis. Like, that's how they knew to go there.
Yeah, I saw that.
But then they needed help from Trinity River authorities to lower the water level. And they did. So then, divers could more easily find her, right? So after removing her body from the river, the sheriff, Byron Lyons, said that she was taken to the Harris County Medical Examiner's office in Houston, and that's where they would determine the cause of death. Most likely they know, I don't know when it will be released. So February 15th is when it happened. She was reported missing in Livingston, Texas after she didn't show up for school. She was last seen near her residence about 7 a.m. In Livingston, and it's quoted by a school report, so that she should have caught the school bus at her neighborhood bus stop. However, school officials reported to the sheriff's office that the school bus did not pick her up and she did not report to school. Mm-hmm. So I don't know at that point. I guess that's one thing I'm missing is, well, did the school then call the parents and then nothing after that? Because I didn't hear the parents calling the police. It was a neighbor lady who called the police. I heard that today. So that was on the 15th. On the 16th, they arrested Don Stephen McDougal, 42, on an unrelated assault charge, but he was considered a person of interest in her disappearance. And the reason that they even knew about this guy is because of this neighbor lady who
said he was sus.
Yes, because it don't take much to figure out he's sus by looking at his ass. So this guy, McDougal, is a friend of Audrey's father and lived in a trailer/camper, whatever, behind their home. The home that she shared with her father and her grandma.
Where's her mama?
Her mama, meth. Her mama did not have custody of her, and because she was on drugs, but she's the one who's been doing interviews and stuff. And it seems like she had been trying to get her back or to get her. But then also from text messages that I saw between McDougal, the murderer, and the meth mom it sounded like she had never even met Audrey.
Wow.
And the murder guy was like, oh, I have a way that you can meet her. Sometimes I take her to school. And Mama's like, well, I mean, I don't want to do anything that's like against the rule. Like, I don't want to do anything wrong, but I would love to see her. But make sure she feels comfortable with it. Cause if she wants to see me, that's great. Like, are you sure this is fine? He's like, yeah, it's no big deal. I'll take her to school. I'll tell her on the way to school, and then we'll come meet you after school.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all that and then
this was on the 15th when she went missing?
Yes. And then that was the day, because there's like it's like this whole Facebook message thread that was all over that page or whatever. But after that, yeah, no, she was never seen for that. But okay, continue. So he was living in this trailer. He was named a primary person of interest after he admitted to leaving the house with Audrey the morning she disappeared, but he would not elaborate, and he had not confessed to anything. So he's telling the police, yeah, I took her to school, but I don't know what else happened after that. Or I saw her. Didn't say anything else. The sheriff said that this guy had helped on some occasions and took investigators to certain locations to look for her, but was still being fairly uncooperative. They said that they thought that a 2003 dark blue Chevrolet Suburban that was his was tied to her disappearance. And then there was something about some of his bumper had hit a tree, and that's how they found the connection to his car, something like that. But I don't know I don't know if tree was on the bumper or bumper was on the tree or vice versa, but that was another thing. February 20th, which is 5 days after the disappearance, is whenever Audrey's body was recovered from the Trinity River. February 21st, Dawn McDougal, whatever the fuck, was charged with capital murder in connection with her death. Now, let me just first read you a few of his prior convictions. Okay. Are you sure you're ready?
So nobody corroborated this, like helped him with this? Mom's not involved, dad's not involved, grandma's not involved as of right now?
Don Stephen McDougal's criminal history. I don't have the answer. I mean,
nobody else has been arrested, I guess what I'm asking.
Right.
Okay.
2001, possession of marijuana. 2002, assault of a public servant. 2003, possession of a dangerous drug. 2003, assault of a public servant. 2003, possession of marijuana. 2005, evading arrest or detention. 2006, theft of more than $1,500 but less than $20,000. 2006, possession of meth. 2007, put an asterisk by this one, enticing a child. Okay, now we'll come back to that. 2009, unauthorized use of a vehicle. 2010, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 2014, theft of property less than $500. 2014, reckless driving. 2019, assault causing bodily injury. 2020, harassment. 2020, unauthorized use of vehicle. 2023, resisting arrest, search, or transportation.
So he took off 21 and 22, and every other year he's been doing some shit.
Yes. So Tim Miller.
EquiSearch?
Yes. He was just on Nancy Grace. So this is what he said. He was called in the day after. He said the day after that they were called in is whenever they found articles of clothing along the shore or along the river, shoreline of the river. And he said at first, they found evidence, and Nancy was like, well, what did you find? Like, was it clothing? Was it shoes? And she's like crying, and he's like, well, I just don't really want to say. Pair of jeans. She got it out of him.
Nancy.
She got it out of him. And so then he said once they saw that, that's when they got the sonar out. So they got the sonar out. And then that's when we found out about the rock. The rock was on the river. The rock's on the bed. That's how we found out she was. And so what she was doing was she was tied to this rope that was like in the middle of the river. But he says she's swirling. Because there's such a current, I guess, that like she's just
she's
spinning.
staying in place, but she's moving. Oh.
I know. It was a very graphic one, that last episode, and I'm glad I heard it. He then, and this guy, Tim, his daughter was murdered as a child, right? So he this is like really hits for him. And so he kept saying it was like this was the murder tying her to that rock was the biggest blessing because with the current, he said within 24 hours, she could have been 96 miles away.
Oh, no.
Because it was this 4 miles per hour current, and then Nancy Grace was like, so he just was kind of saying over and over, like, that was good, that was good. And then we get to the bad part where it's a sex assault. Was she raped? Was she assaulted?
And do we know yet?
Well, no, but
what's the other reasoning to do it?
With the pants with clothes being off, like
yeah,
it's basically it. I mean, it sounds like it. So I'll say that I'm glad we have the death penalty in Texas.
Yes,
because this does sound like a sex assault. And back to the 2007 incident, so he had apparently already got into a bed with a 10-year-old girl and removed her underwear and pajamas and tried to sex assault her, but got off with this cheap plea deal where he didn't even have to admit what he did. And they considered this enticing.
No.
And
Texas,
no.
come on now.
Then they cut it down to enticing, which is not even an offense that you have to register for. This is why he was not a registered sex offender.
This could have been avoided. Maybe.
You know what? Okay. The Nazi tattoo alone did it for me.
McDougal's?
Yes. A ginormous one on his. He had multiple Nazi tattoos. He has these, all these like white supremacist shit on him, like just all whatever these words mean that I don't know what A, B, whatever, I don't know. Different
Aryan Brotherhood.
Yes, what is that?
This like the skinheads, basically. It's like the
KKK or something?
Yeah, but like a
yes, he had all that.
Like KKK are like rednecks. These are more, I don't know, they're all kind of rednecks. But I do have a friend, not saying this guy's great, but I do have a friend that I went to high school with that, I don't know, I've just always loved this friend. He's a white guy. Did some time because he flipped out on his military police officer. And when you're in jail, you do have, like in prison, you have to pick a side. Like you got to go to the whites, you got to go to the blacks, you got to go to the Mexicans in order to stay safe. According to him, when he got out.
Yeah.
So he got out and he came to visit me and he took off his shirt because that's what he does, very ADHD. And well, no, he showed me. He said, I just want to show you what I had to get when I was in there to stay safe. And it was he's got one of those Nazi things. And
how did they tattoo you there?
I don't
know. I don't know how they get needles. I know they do anything basically. But.
Yeah. There's ways. I don't know how. We can bring him on and interview him if you want to.
I think we need to. I need to know. I need to just go visit.
Some people do. And what's so crazy is like now he's like this Christian guy-ish, he says.
Oh, they always
But
are.
he's still friends with some of those Aryan Brotherhood guys that are outs. But they both did it, allegedly, to be safe. I'm not taking up from a Dougal.
Right.
But, I would have just got a little bitty one, like, that I couldn't see. But they tell you where you need to get it.
So he picked the white side, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
What side would I pick? I feel like both sides would accept me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that tattoo alone should have gotten kicked off the property. And it was funny because they were like, well, I guess they're going to have Audrey's Law now. What is it going to do? Because she's already dead. Like, what's going to happen now?
Who was saying that?
Well, that's what they said on Nancy Grace.
What's going to be Audrey's Law?
But, every time a child is, then they come up with the law or it's this, it's like.
Maybe if she had somebody to advocate for it, they could have done the enticing.
She was talking to a guy that she had on there was like a legislature guy or a representative, and I can't remember what his name was, but he was saying that he's like, yes, we are going to pass legislation to where this situation does not happen again. And we don't have this person like him out on the streets.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, you better make sure that it says this and this, because they're going to find some prosecutor or some defense attorney is going to find loopholes, and they're going to be like, well, this doesn't count as this. And so this. And then she was like, what's the point of these laws that come up after these children have died or whatever, because there's holes all over them anyways. And so people get, or that, I think that was the point of what she was saying.
So, but here's the thing. I don't know that Audrey's family, would they even checked the offender checklist? Like, are these?
I don't know, but I'm like, you live.
So he could have been
and
on.
where's the dad? Because she lived with dad and grandma. Where are they? Why are they not saying anything? Meth mama over here, she's the only one saying something. She's the only one that sounds normal.
What they probably wanted is that guy was probably paying them money to live in that whatever he was living in on their land, right?
Yeah, behind the house.
So they were just worried about the money. So they didn't give a shit like what kind of record he had.
No.
So he probably could have been a sex offender and still would have lived there.
Well, he actually he's not a registered sex offender.
I'm saying he could have been, but I don't think that they would have checked either way because they were worried about their money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they knew they had to, yeah. You don't look at that guy. You just look at the dude and you don't want him anywhere near a child.
And you don't make decisions like that when you got a little girl in your house or a kid, period.
It's drugs, just all the drugs. That's all. I mean,
wow.
So, I think that's it. It's good. Good. It's been a good week.
Wow. So were you deep diving into that all week?
Which one?
The Audrey case.
Audrey
and the pages.
And see, I don't. In the beginning of these things when they happen, and there's always a Facebook page that's created, and they always go off.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much like BS that gets put out there. Like, because I'll watch some YouTube people who are covering it, and they'll go and they'll like, okay, let's look at this.
Through.
So we'll look. Yeah, they'll sift through it, and I sift with them. But then it comes out, it's like, well, then like, sometimes they have like 10 GoFundMes for this, whatever. And it's like fake stuff, fake this is fake. This isn't really true, blah, blah, blah. So I don't get on the Facebook pages, but I let other people do it. But that's where a lot of this stuff happens. Unless it happens on TikTok, which is where.
Speaking of, oh my gosh.
And I did finally watch the first one, the original 10-minute one. Yesterday. So I have to just, now that I can like go there.
Yes. Okay. So if you're on TikTok, you might have seen a little series come through that's called Who the F Did I Marry? And there's this girl on there from Georgia, and she just kind of gives a little 10-minute synopsis of her ex-narcissist, pathological liar husband. And then people are so thirsty for more, she creates a series. And she tells every little bit, like every part of her relationship from beginning to end in these TikTok series. There's 50 parts. And that seems overwhelming, but it's probably like an extended like podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch her. I listened like I would a podcast. She's such a great storyteller.
Yeah.
So her page is Risa Tisa. She's probably made like $300,000. She's now monetized when she really wanted to do, like you telling your Dirty Chad story. She wanted to be vulnerable. She wanted to tell the truth, but she wanted to help somebody that may be going through the same thing, like like prevention too.
Yeah.
But she's done like way more than that. It is better than any Something Was Wrong that I listened to. Like, it is crazy. And I didn't know the difference between a compulsive liar and a pathological liar. I've just never looked it up.
Yeah.
And people use it interchangeably like it's the same.
Yeah, because we just think somebody who lies all the time.
Yeah. So a compulsive liar usually has a reason to lie. Like, I'm really on drugs, but I don't want you to know that I'm on drugs. So I'm going to tell you this lie because I'm really trying to hide the fact that I'm on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Pathological liar has literally no reason. They just do it because they can do it, whether it's, they just do it and cannot.
So which
not
one is
do
Dirty
it.
Chad?
I think Dirty Chad was a compulsive because he was trying to hide something at some point.
I think he's both.
Maybe it became, I don't know.
I know.
This guy was just pathological because he had no reason to lie. Like he would have been not a great boyfriend, but he would have been fine if he would have just told his truth. But he wanted to be something different and something more. It's just
that's
so
Dirty
good.
Chad. That's
yeah.
Dirty Chad. Because why lie about being a member at a golf club? Why lie about eyes? Why lie about, like there was no reason.
He would lie to get her excited about something, knowing that she wasn't going to have it. So he liked seeing her excited and then really letting her down. But he was so good at his lies. And she talks about how so many of her quotes would resonate with you because she was just like, I knew probably a little bit of it was a lie. I never would have thought how much of it, her mind could not even go to the depths of where his lies went.
Yep.
And so she was like, I'm guilty. I'm telling you.
I need to talk to her.
You do. So then that was over. So then they didn't found out his nickname, we have Dirty Chad. She called him Legion, which is the demonic possessions, when you see all the Exorcist movies. So the devil, his name was Legion. Well, TikTok people done found Legion. So then, and outed his name. So then he did a live back to her and basically called her a liar.
Oh, well, of course he will.
Ex-girlfriends are now coming out of the woodworks and telling their story. But the girl, she did it so respectfully. She tried to keep everybody anonymous.
Okay, I want to know, and spoiler, so how did she find out about all the lies? Was there a conversation between the two of them? Or how did she know that, because I can see them she finding out about something and then being oh.
So she was DTF about a lot of things.
How did she find the extent and the actual truths behind some of the original lies?
She ended up talking to family members that are no longer in his life, but he lied about them being in his life. She ended up talking to ex-wife, and she basically, in her words, became the CIA, the FBI, and Homeland Security.
There you go, girl.
She was DTF.
Wow.
So, oh my goodness, go watch it. It's so good.
Spell it. How does it?
It's her TikTok name is Reesa, Reesa, Teesa, Teesa.
Okay.
And I've told my friends, and I was like, if you don't go watch this, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore because I didn't know what to do with my life when it was over. That's how good it was.
Well, I guess we better reach out to her and get her on the show.
Yes. Whew, goodness. Okay. So there's our news, and we will see you Thursday. We're going to
I wish we could end
Virginia.
with something fun.
Oh, actually, you better tune in Thursday because I might have ran in. Speaking of Legions and Dirty Chads.
Y'all, April ran in and not only did she run into Dirty Chad, not only did she have a conversation with Dirty Chad, she took a picture with him.
It was Caroline's birthday present. I sent her a picture of me and Dirty Chad, and I was so surprised.
Cheesing.
He was nice.
Let's not even. Let's.
So tune in Thursday.
I cannot. Whenever he pays me back the money he owes me, then he gonna be nice. We'll see y'all on the next one. Okay, we're going to Virginia.
Virginia, don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, bye, bye.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.